Chapter 2. Shri Sadguru said, one should lead a householder's life simply to serve the guests who come to him. Being hospitable to the guests is an act of great virtue. He who prepares food only for himself, in reality, devours his own sins. Are not all the animals, birds, pilgrims, renunciates living by taking refuge only in the householders? The monks roam about the earth only in order to purge the world of sins. Hence, a householder should support them and take care of them by all means, keeping in mind that Sri Narayana himself appears in the form of yatis. One should pay homage to all ascetics. A saint becomes venerable simply by donning saffron cloth and holding a staff. A householder should not bother to examine their good or bad qualities. Due to his devoted worship of Devi Radha, Nimbarka attained pure wisdom, pure divine wisdom, and remained in Sri Brindavan. Nimbarka erected a solitary cell for himself in the serene Brindavan, resonant with the gently rowing waves of the Yamuna. The atmosphere was charged with sweet fragrance of beautiful flowers like kalhara, ketaki, and lotus. The area was surrounded by groves of trees like vakula, mandara, ashoka, and champaka. Sri Vrindavan was full of sweet chirping sounds of birds like peacock, cuckoo, and chakravaka, and was inhabited by multitudes of cows. Staying in that solitary cell, that saint continued to worship Devi Radha in Sakhya Prem, considering himself to be the mate and attendant of Devi Radha. Once there came a sannyasi wearing saffron and holding a staff. He was a devotee of Sri Narayana. Seeing that yati, the illustrious saint Nimbarka paid obeisances to him and took him to his hermitage in great reverence. The two were sitting inside the cell, sharing the sweet pastimes of Sri Krishna with great prem. They were so deeply engaged in conversation that they were not aware of the sunset. At dusk, Nimbarka became conscious of the world outside and requested the yati to accept food. The courageous and steadfast sannyasi, who revelled only in renunciation, looked at Nimbarka and spoke thus. The sannyasi said, the rule is that a steadfast and renounced saint should not eat after sunset. O seer, how can a steadfast recluse like me violate this rule prescribed for a sannyasi and take food at this time in the evening? O seer, I am fully satisfied with Krishna Kirtan itself. I do not feel hungry or thirsty. You have your food now. Sri Nimbarka said, O illustrious yati, we have spent the whole day engaged in the discussion of Sri Krishna's divine pastimes without any thought of food. O yati, yet I will not have peace of mind if I do not serve you properly. So please have your food. The yati said, O wise one, you know the right code of conduct. You are also a man of austerity like me. So please do not force me to violate my vow by the power of your love and affection. Sri Sadguru continued. After listening to these words, Nimbarka was not convinced. In order to serve the yati, he showed him the sun setting at a far distance near the neem tree. Nimbarka was an avatara of Chakrayuda, the disc of Sri Krishna, manifested himself. Nimbarka, who was the avatara of Chakrayuda, the disc of Sri Krishna, manifested himself as the setting sun, and thus he convinced the yati that there was enough time still before sunset so that he could have his food. The yati was very much pleased and accepted the offering. He in turn paid respects to Nimbarka, who was simply absorbed in Krishna contemplation. Because Saint Aruni appeared as the sun near a neem tree, he became known as Nimbarka and gathered fame. The yati was quite surprised to learn that the sun was a manifestation of great Nimbarka caused by his own spiritual power. Thus, knowing of the greatness of Nimbarka, that yati became his disciple. Paying respects to the lotus feet, that yati accepted perennial engagement in the cultivation of deep Krishna Bhakti. In a sense, a householder should always attend with sincerity and affection to the needs of the yatis, saints, and bhagavatas who come to his house. The respect paid to great souls reaches Bhagavan. When they are worshipped, the Lord himself is worshipped. If Lord Srinivasa is thus propitiated and appears in true form, then what is there which cannot be achieved? Sri Vasudeva, the super soul, is residing in all beings. Hence, we should worship the self realized saints who see everywhere the expressions of the divinity of the Lord. Thus ends chapter 2, entitled Nimbarka Charitram of Book 5 of Sri Vaishnava Samhita, composed by Shri Krishna Premi Swamigal.